And her opponent from Brazil in the red, Ana Carolina Silva de Moura. The grand staircase leads these two down towards the mat. The longest walk in World Taekwondo, John, this one.
Oh, it certainly is, but the best one to take, the promenade in Paris. And the prominent figure, of course, Djelika Diallo. That big head in the crowd there, can she get ahead early and get them on her side? And that's the route through.
Diallo ranked her fourth, and her semi-final victory over Yao was something truly special. It was like she was on another level to her opponent for around about 90 seconds. She couldn't be touched, and in that time she took the match away from her. 10 points scored, all in a row, and the French fans were baying for points, and she delivered. Their expectations now are through the roof, and flags unveiled, saved for this moment.
In blue, representing France, Djelika Diallo.
Djelika Diallo of France, of Paris, of just down the road in Dungy. We're in her local ville of this wonderful city. She's on posters, she's displayed around the supermarkets. They love her here. She's made the short distance to the Grand Palais, to the heart of the city, and it beats for her right now.
In red, representing Brazil, Carolina Silva de Moura.
Carolina Silva de Moura of Brazil, the reigning world champion from last year. She's also the reigning Pan-American champion as well. It was a stunning 12 months for her in 2023, but in 2024, this single prize would top the lot. She lives and trains in Belo Horizonte in Brazil. From the Islamic Republic of Iran, Marjan Temouri is the referee.
And Marjan Temouri making history as well. The first Iranian female referee in Paralympic Taekwondo history, and here she is in the big final. Big moments, of course, for the host nation, but important for Carolina Silva de Moura to stay calm, to try and keep things based on what's in front of her rather than what's around her.
With the head guards on for Diallo. And after the bow, the kicking can begin. In the under 65 kilogram gold medal contest, Djelika Diallo of France in the blue and Carolina Silva de Moura of Brazil in the red.
Well, patience, patience, the call from Habignari, the French coach in the corner, just about audible. That head, the kick, just about visible as well.
No head kicks allowed in Para Taekwondo. So a Gamjon against Diallo for connecting with the head guard of her opponent. It's all about the trunk. 2 points for a standard kick to the trunk, 3 for a back kick to the trunk, and 4 for a spinning kick. Rodrigo Fela issuing the instructions to his charge. And those instructions working. The first points via the foot scored in the final. Habi Nair as well in picture there in Diallo's corner. What scenes we saw in the semi-final when Diallo booked her ticket. Moura racing around the arena, dragging Diallo to the ground to celebrate.
And of course, she's an Olympic silver medalist. She won't want that for Diallo here in the Paralympics. She'll be wanting her to take the gold and go that one step further. But at the moment, Carolina Silva de Moura doing her job nicely. She's figured out the game plan, not leaving any spaces at all. There's not much of a difference in terms of leg length, but that back leg turning kick has been really good from the Brazilian. As you can see, she's kicking once and then keeping it up there, just like a window wiper, to keep it in the face, keep it in the way, and maybe even pick off another point.
Diallo, just 19 years of age, the French woman, and her opponent numbering 28 years this year. So life experience, Taekwondo experience, massively in the favour of the Brazilian. Cheers for the first point for France and Diallo in the final. Via the gam jump. Penalty system in Taekwondo sees those yellow cards next to the name. Every penalty point you accrue is a point to your opponent, so that's why Diallo gets on the board here. And now the tempo ups, now the roar and the wave of the flags, and the cockerel nods its head as well. Sage approval. When Diallo starts to score, so does the roar, and that tends to translate into more points for the French woman. She's so good at feeding off that in the semi-final.
Well, we have parity here in Paris. Djelika Diallo just had a quick look at Habignayer just to say, do we need the timeout now or shall we wait for it? Carolina Silva de Moura looking for more with that back leg turning kick to the body. And the atmosphere, as you rightly say, so critical. Concentration required.
A little bit of a holding pattern, John, at the moment, aren't we? Where no one needs to change things up too much because of the score. And so we'll stay where we are.
Yeah, patience is a virtue, of course, in combat. A lovely little shot there. Good response from Djelika Diallo. Just a little look over the shoulder there from Ana Carolina Silva de Moura to her coach Rodrigo Fella to say, okay, let's reassess here. And this is important. This minute will obviously have benefits to both, but Carolina Silva de Moura can't really hear what's being communicated from her coach. So that's important to her now, to get a chance to listen. One thing's for sure and two things for certain: the atmosphere like this, they will never have experienced it. When you're training, lonely hours in the NCEP, that's the National Centre in Paris, you're working away, sweating, training hard, perhaps losing weight, I'm sure that would be the case. Carolina Silva de Moura as well, working prodigiously hard back in Brazil. You do that often in isolation, you do it for these moments.
They know their role in the stands and they play it so well. And that's not just in the Taekwondo arena, that's across every venue and around the city of Paris as well.
And a bit of coiffure adjustment as well there from Habignare as they get themselves back underway. There's a hair's breadth or less between them, all tied up nicely for the gold.
It just extends the drama a little bit more. Here we go again. No points scored from that. Instead, it's the counter that scores for Brazil. And that could have ended very differently had Carolina Silva de Moura not kept her feet there.
And kept her head as well. Good presence of mind. Adjusted, was on the outer reaches of the mat. If you're pushed out of the mat, it'd be a penalty point, but the Brazilian, with the resilience.
Into the last 90 seconds, there's a lot to play out in this one, you sense, and that things will change. The snap will happen, and the rhythm will run wild, especially if there is someone who is down coming into the last 30 seconds. John, what does Diallo need to try and do here in the last minute?
More of the same against Silva de Moura. She's got the tactics right. It's following in after the first kick. So she does the first kick and then waits. The thing that she needs to do is cut the first kick a little bit shorter and then follow in.
And if you're in Silva de Moura's corner, what are you advising?
Back kicker as soon as she comes forward nicely there. And Rodrigo Fela will be happy with that one. Now you have to have the big weapon. Maybe the back kick not the necessary option. You don't want to give away any spaces. But Djelika, Diallo trying her best. And it's now getting into just kick till the conclusion territory.
Another two. Snuck out from that close exchange. And it gets worse as well for Diallo. All of a sudden there's a 7-point gap.
Yeah, that unintentional kick to the face will be a big blow to the ambitions, not just of Djelika Diallo, but of course to the French faithful here in Paris. She tries with the spin, but it's going to be difficult to get the win. Fans don't add points. Crowds don't make differences when it comes to kicks. And Silva de Moura will not be settling for silver in this one.
She can see the finish line now, the Brazilian. Diallo spins. The last attempts, the last throws of the dice. Trunk shot from Diallo does land. 5 points the difference. 4 points the maximum score for a spinning kick to the trunk here. She'll need one of those and then some, but the seconds tick away. For Carolina Silva de Moura, it's going to be gold. Brazil's time. Carolina Silva de Moura is the Paralympic champion.
A lovely embrace with the opposing coach. Embracing the big occasion. Djelika Diallo deserves every salutation for that super silver medal. Couldn't have tried any harder, couldn't have given it any more. But Ana Silva de Moura had two jobs. She did both of them. She kept the crowd quiet. She kept Djelika Diallo in check as well.
Djelika Diallo. In the heat of the moment, we'll look back.
And Djelika Diallo and the woman who beat her in this final, Carolina Silva de Moura, wanting to make sure they had this moment together as well. The French flag, the Brazilian flag, and the coaches going crazy as well.
Carolina Silva de Moura, championne paralympique pour le Brésil.
13 points to 7, and she timed her run to the front well, didn't she? Accelerating towards the end. Silva de Moura with the gold. And worth reminding ourselves of how this new Paralympic champion got into Taekwondo, because it was after she was mugged, after a necklace was stolen from her that her aunt had given her when she was born. And she decided after that, no more. She wanted a martial art to practice. She chose Taekwondo. And she can't just defend herself well anymore. She can attack and win against the very best in the world.
As you say, she can stand up for herself, and they'll be standing